WUMS University, Oxford.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Roommate Podcast. I'm Jacey.
And I'm Lucy.
So today we're going to be talking about how to romanticize fall. What do you think romanticizing fall, what does that mean to you, Lucy?
Romanticizing fall, especially at university, just means to kind of keep that cheerful mindset even when the weather changes and becomes more dreary or more cold, because I know for me, when the colder weather hits, it is harder to have that daily motivation, and looking for small ways to make your day so much more fun in the colder seasons really tends to help my mood every day.
Yeah, that's a really great outlook. So, we want to talk about things that you can do to romanticize fall, how that can benefit you, and what it even means. I think when we say the word romanticize, it's been so major on social media.
Yeah.
I think I've heard the word romanticize a million times on social media. So, first off, we want to talk about how to be intentional with your goals. One of the things that Lucy and I both do to inspire ourselves to be intentional with our goals is to make a Pinterest board.
I know Pinterest is kind of fading out, but I love me some Pinterest.
Oh, I do too. I like all the aesthetic photos. It makes me want to achieve that level of, of being aesthetic.
Every time I open the Pinterest app, it's like I want to make a whole new version of myself within the span of 2 minutes. It's like, okay, so I need to get my nails done, I need to eat healthy, I need to journal, let me just change everything. But
I know for the fall especially, the aesthetic that people tend to veer towards is that dark academia, studying, late nights in the library type of mood.
Right.
Which is something that I do try to achieve each year to no avail, because I need to be in bed at a specific time.
Yeah.
But I think just even scrolling through Pinterest, you don't even have to make a board, but seeing other people achieve things that you want to achieve can be so inspiring and kind of push you towards your goals.
Yeah. Actually, kind of on another note with Pinterest, I find that watching vlogs on YouTube of other young women who are in college and, they're getting up, they have a good routine. I find that really helps me when I watch those and I'm feeling a little bit down about myself or my routine.
Yeah.
It just helps me. It kind of puts things into perspective.
Yeah, I think the only warning that I would say with that is don't compare yourself.
Right.
With Pinterest, you're not watching a specific person.
Yeah.
So there are all these faceless people who you don't know, you don't follow, you don't know anything about. It's just a photo, right? But with vlogs, it is a bit different in the sense that you are following along to somebody else's life, and it can be really easy to have that comparison in your head and start thinking of, oh, well, so-and-so did this on her vlog, so I need to also do that.
Right.
That's the only warning that I would issue with that.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I do feel like Pinterest is just good vibes.
Oh, it is. And it doesn't have all the noise of constant stimulation that we mentioned this app too much. Instagram has. Instagram has so much noise and it sort of suckers you into just watching more and more and more. But Pinterest is like yoga. Just relaxes your brain, stretches your muscles. And that's a hill I'm willing to climb, or whatever that saying is. I know that's not the right saying. So let's move on.
Yeah. Another thing that could help you to romanticize fall is making a fall playlist.
Yes, absolutely. Having that, okay, this goes along with another thing that we talked about, an ambiance.
Yeah.
I would go so far as to compare music to an ambiance that we personally like to have on our television. So, with both of those forms of media, I would say, it puts you in the mindset, not unlike Pinterest, of being inspired and having goals to set for yourself and achieve.
Yeah. I know for me, I like to make, a little fall Gilmore Girls playlist.
Love it.
And listen to that when I'm walking around campus in the mornings, and I'm
That's
just walking
amazing.
around, looking at the trees, looking at the students rushing to class, and I hear la 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 la. I'm like, yes.
Half
Stars
expecting
Hollow.
the Gilmore Girls to run into
Right.
you. I wish. Yeah, sometimes I look up and I'm like, are we in Stars Hollow right now? Yeah, I think it goes without saying that having a Gilmore Girls rewatch is
Oh yeah,
almost number one on the list.
yeah. That's an essential. For
It's an
fall
essential.
this year.
I think one of the first things I did, probably in August, because I was so ready for fall, was start that rewatch of Gilmore Girls. Honestly.
Yeah. I feel like in a way Oxford is our Stars Hollow.
I've thought that before too.
Yeah.
I feel like the vibes are similar
Yeah.
in a sense. I mean, I don't know of any love triangles going around, so let me know if that's untrue.
Yeah.
Another thing you can do is to start a calendar. Starting a calendar
Yeah.
can be so helpful to organize your thoughts, which can, maybe you can start a journal. But starting a calendar organizes all your events, organizes your exams coming up. I know this week is pretty midterm based, so
Yeah.
good luck to everyone with those. Hopefully this can give you a little reprieve for a second.
I do like how you mentioned calendars, because in high school I never had to really use a calendar. I just sort of kept up with everything
Yeah, me
in
too.
my head. And now that I'm at college, I've realized that I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So I like to use a physical planner that I keep in my backpack every day, and I also use Google Calendar on my laptop.
That's a really good idea, because I know a lot of people don't really love the whole getting a physical book
Yeah.
and writing it out. Google
Actually,
Calendar can
yeah.
be helpful. Yeah, this is something that I myself need to attribute to my life, because my calendar right now is a sticky note on my computer. And when I do something, I get the satisfaction of putting an X in the
Yeah.
boxes that I drew. But then there's so many other things to do that, alas, I never get to check off all the boxes on my list. So it's a constant build-up. So I think starting a calendar and organizing your thoughts that way would be so beneficial.
Yeah. And I will say, I used to hate a physical planner. I would just hate having to go through all the motion of writing down
Yeah.
everything I needed to do. It was so overwhelming. And I would do sort of like you do and just write a little list on a sticky note. But then I realized, I would have an event that I needed to write out, say, a meeting with a professor,
Yeah.
a week from now. And when I look down at this sticky note and I'm not able to cross that off,
It's
for a
so
few days,
irritating.
it creates all this unnecessary clutter in my brain. So a lot of times I'll use sticky notes for daily tasks, and I'll use
Okay.
my planner for the weekly tasks.
That's a really good idea, because personally I do find myself writing things on my little sticky notes
Yeah.
that I don't need to do immediately, but it's something I do need to remember. So having a calendar would help me with that, I know.
Yeah.
Another way to be intentional with your goals in order to romanticize fall is to craft a plan to help you stay on task. This could include waking up earlier as the time changes and it
Yeah.
gets darker earlier. You can craft a routine to prioritize schoolwork, and you can use your free time wisely.
I like how you say that because, you know, as we talked about last week, my routine was kind of out of whack, and
Yeah.
this week I've sort of realized that. Well, I haven't realized it this week. I've kind of known this for a while, but I realized I needed to take a different approach when it comes to my routine because, you know, I feel like you're more of a night owl. It's easier for you to
Definitely.
stay up in the later hours, and you like to wake up, you know, at, at a later time than me in the mornings. And I would sort of try to match my routine to that. And I would
Yeah.
just procrastinate during the daytime. And then when it hit, you know, 9:30, 10 p.m., I was thinking, okay, let me get all of this stuff done that I've put off. And I would do it, but then I would go to sleep exhausted. I would wake up the next day with not enough sleep, and it was just this ongoing cycle. So I realized that for me personally, that does not work. And, you know, I'm somebody who needs to be settled in the bed early, and if I do have something that I didn't finish that day, it's okay. And, you know, I'm just going to start waking up earlier in the mornings to do it because
Yeah.
that's when I can focus the best is in the mornings. And I think that that's something that you really need to know about yourself, especially to be as productive as you need to be.
Yeah, so true. And definitely having this fresh chance to make a new routine and
Yeah.
prioritize those goals better is this new season. I know that every year we experience the 4 seasons. Well, in Mississippi, it's more like the 2 seasons.
Right.
But having that mental fresh start of knowing, okay, it's a new season, outside is about to look different, it's about to feel different outside.
Yeah.
Matching the change mentally can be really helpful.
Yeah. I don't know if this is only me. Like, tell me if this is you too.
Okay.
But I've noticed that I feel so much more energized lately when, you know, I feel the cold breeze and
Yeah.
it is 5 to 10 degrees colder. I don't feel so tired and exhausted throughout the day anymore.
I do feel that way when I first wake up and go outside.
Yeah.
Returning to my room after a class, however, is a different story because I've hiked up 5 hills. I'm hungry, I'm tired, I've
Yeah.
got stuff to do. So not yet. I'm not quite there
Okay.
yet. But another thing that you can do to get excited for this fall season is to find a specific fall scent. What is your go-to fall scent, would you say?
I used to hate pumpkin spice, and I was like, ew, pumpkin spice flavor, pumpkin
Yeah.
spice smell, just gross, so basic, just ew, 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 ew.
The overconsumption of pumpkin
Yes.
spice. It needs to be studied.
Yeah, but I have actually grown to really like it.
Good.
Yeah. You know, even Starbucks drinks.
Yes.
I'll get like a little fall drink and I taste it and it just brings me happiness.
Yeah, I tell everyone I can about that pumpkin chai that they have at Starbucks. My grandma tried it for the first time the other day, and I think she might be going to get her another one soon because she loved it. But having a fall scent, which mine, if you're asking, I can't find it anymore, which is so unfortunate. But one year I was in Target, the best place ever, and they had this collection of candles that was cereal based. So there was this Honey Nut Cheerio candle, and it smelled like fall in a cup.
Okay.
And I got one year, and then the next year I found it again and I got it, but I can't find it anymore. and I've looked for it, and I guess they don't sell them anymore. So one day when I'm 60 years old and I smell that smell again, it's going to bring me back to fall.
I've never seen or heard of that scent before.
I keep it on the down low because I don't want anyone to get it.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
I'm just telling everyone now, they don't sell it anymore. And if you find it, please let me know. At theroommate.pod on Instagram, please let me know. Having a scent that reminds you of fall, just like Lucy's pumpkin spice and my honey nut Cheerios, it can relax and inspire you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a candle either. It can
Right.
be essential oils. I know I read that essential oils like cedarwood and scents like pine and nutmeg and cinnamon,
Yeah.
those are scents that remind everyone of fall, I
Okay,
think.
actually, not to interrupt you, but I've changed my mind about my fall scent.
Oh goodness.
I do like to use essential oils more than I like candles, and
Yeah.
as you know, we're not allowed to burn candles in the dorm,
Right.
so that does get a little bit difficult, but essential oils, are a bit healthier for you than candles, which, whatever, but I do try to lean more towards that, and I love, love, love cinnamon and orange.
You would not think that that'd go together.
You really wouldn't, but it smells so fresh, and the cinnamon gives that little splash of fall that you're looking for.
Love
and
it.
It's not too overpowering. So yeah, I think I want to change my favorite fall scent to a cinnamon and orange essential oil.
I respect that.
Thank you.
Another scent that you can choose, we've recently purchased a wallflower from
Yeah.
Bath and Body Works, and I don't really recall the scent, but it is a cleaner scent. I think
wanna
it
say fresh laundry.
I do think I was about to say that. I think it's fresh laundry is what it's called. Walking in and having that clean scent, even though we might not have freshly cleaned the room,
Yeah.
it just kind of inspires me to get my work done, and it relaxes me because I don't smell weird food smells like I do in the hall. So yeah, maybe grabbing a candle or investing in essential oils or a wallflower can really inspire and relax you this fall season.
Yeah.
Let's return to ambiance for a second. We briefly touched on it a second ago, but when you have that ambiance on, now the ambiance that I like to put on the TV is really fall-esque.
Yeah.
It's a cafe, a random cat's there, there's coffee steaming on the table, and even though the video is 7 hours long, the coffee never stops steaming. There's random books astray. It's just so, hate to use this word, but it's so aesthetic. It is, and it relaxes me because there's soft jazz music playing in the background, except the ones with the piano. I don't like those. That distracts me. I don't know why. I just had to add that. But that's my ideal, perfect ambiance.
Okay.
And it honestly helps you to study. If you're trying to wind down for the night, maybe with that essential oil or candle we mentioned, put on an ambiance. Just try it. There are thousands of YouTube channels that have ambiances specifically for fall. Oh, we've lived together too long.
Yeah. See, I'm not a huge fan of fall ambient. Well, I'm not going to say I'm not a huge fan. I like more of a vintage jazz,
Okay.
New York City vibe, 1940s, 1950s. That's the type of ambiance that I like.
I have noticed on my YouTube For You page, or whatever it's called, the other day I got recommended one that said cafe in the 1940s and it's raining outside, and I was like, who made this? Who's been watching? What? So okay, that's where it's from.
Yeah, I need to just go ahead and make my own account on your YouTube.
Yeah. Another ambiance. I know we keep talking about ambiance associated with media, but another ambiance can actually be outdoors.
Yeah.
Right now you might not want to partake in this, but you can go to a coffee shop and you can set up your studies and just have a nice, relaxing time. It really is a wonderful ambiance. I've only done it like once, but it's helpful. We do have a quick commercial break, but we'll catch you in a second.
The Daily Mississippian distributes thousands of its papers across the Ole Miss campus, Oxford, and beyond. The DM newsletter reaches over 27,000 subscribers each and every week. The website, easily over 1 million impressions regularly. If you want Ole Miss and Oxford to know about your business, advertise in the Daily Mississippian. Call 662-259-6081 to ask about our print, online, and newsletter advertising packages. That's 662-259-6081. Or email dmads@olemiss.edu.
And we're back. That was the Daily Mississippian, everyone. So, we were talking about ambiances. We were talking about candles. We were talking about Gilmore Girls. How about things that you can actually do? Activities.
Ooh.
You wrote down a few of these.
Okay.
Do you remember?
I do. I really love Halloween.
Halloween. And I'm sorry to say this to all the Christmas fanatics, because I too do love Christmas.
Yeah.
But Halloween, in my humble opinion, is the best season.
Halloween just has a special place in my heart for some reason.
I can't remember a bad Halloween I
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
I can't recall. I've had the best Halloweens in most recent years,
Yeah.
which I'll get to later. But activities, having those activities planned in your calendar, if you take our advice, having those activities can help you to avoid seasonal depression, which
Yeah.
is a real thing, which
Yeah.
for a lot of people is probably going to come up soon with the colder, darker, gloomier weather.
I have noticed that I do tend to have very frequent mood swings, which, can be a normal thing for especially women, and, putting those fun little activities into my routine does help me just not go through the same exact cycle
Yeah.
every day, because it does tend to get a little bit depressing after a certain amount of time, but
Yeah, I know we're talking about romanticizing fall and all that, and we're talking about this prior to the season actually
Yeah.
starting, which it is fall, I know that, but it doesn't feel like fall outside if
Right.
you live in Mississippi. And we might get, 2 weeks of fall before winter sinks its claws into our weather. But
yeah.
I just think that planning ahead
Yeah.
and knowing in your head, okay, there are things that I can do to prepare for this season, that's really helpful. Because while Lucy and I are extremely excited for fall now, in a few weeks when the weather is darker and gloomier and the trees start dying, we might, if we don't follow our own advice, we might feel a bit depressed,
Yeah.
which is totally normal, and it's such a real thing. And I don't know one person who's not felt a little bit sad because of the
Yeah.
weather changing.
Back to what we were saying about Halloween.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you are never too old to dress up for Halloween.
Amen.
Find
Amen.
a Halloween costume.
Please find a Halloween costume. I promise you, we're in college. There's going to be something going on.
Right.
One of the activities that I wanted to mention was finding a Halloween costume and making Halloween plans.
Yeah.
Whether that be with your friends, your family, whatever. There's something for Halloween I bet you could do. Could you, Lucy, give us a little hint? Don't tell us.
Ooh.
Give me a hint as to what your Halloween costume of choice is going to be. I already know, but
Okay.
guys, try to guess.
Oh gosh, I don't know how to give a subtle hint without just completely giving it away.
I know, the
but-
hint that I want you to give is going to give it away.
It is a bit of a throwback, and it has to do with zombies and a very well-known music video.
You've already given it away.
I know. I'm just too excited. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Before you just spoil it, I'm going to say my hint.
Okay.
My hint. I'm going to be everybody's favorite clairvoyant.
What is that?
Well, I can't tell you or it would spoil it.
Oh, so guess I'm gonna have to go Google it.
Well, maybe you're not the only one.
Yeah.
That's okay. The only reason I know what a clairvoyant is because I'm dressing up as this person for Halloween. So there's another hint. It's a person, not an animal.
Another thing that can help you get in the mood for the fall season is prepping your wardrobe for colder weather and just kind of going through your clothes, cleaning out what you don't need, replacing your summer clothes with your winter clothes.
Yeah, I think if your wardrobe's not prepared, you're not prepared.
Yeah.
Obviously. But as the colder weather approaches, though it's still in the 80s outside, having a few sweaters, maybe trading in your shorts for your jeans, maybe getting some boots, that can be really inspiring as well for the upcoming fall season.
Another thing that I personally really enjoy doing every few months is a phone detox, and also just giving your phone a little glow up. Maybe getting a new fun case that you've been wanting.
Nice.
Maybe changing your
like
wallpapers.
a fall-based case, maybe.
Cleaning out your camera roll. Just small things like that always help me so much, and they help me to not be super overwhelmed every time I look at my phone, because I am a very organized person. I like a lot of structure, and that's just something that helps me feel like I have control over my life.
Yeah. See, I've never given my phone a detox, and I am also a very organized person, and I like to have some organization on my phone, but I fear that that's not for me. So just because we're saying all these things, it might not apply to you, and you know what? That is A-okay.
Yeah.
These are just some suggestions. See, my phone, I can't tell you the last time that I went through and I deleted screenshots from 5-6 years ago. I just don't see a reason to. I might need it one day,
Okay.
I mean, I know I won't need it, but it just makes me feel better that it's there. And I have so many photos from trips and my animals, of course. And I don't know. Me personally, I just can't do it. I think that I don't care enough about what's on my phone to organize it. And I wish that I cared, because that sounds so nice to just detox your phone.
I feel like I do need sort of a happy medium, because I completely respect your way of how you keep your phone organized, and
Which is no way at all.
I do wish I was leaning a little bit more towards that, because I'll even look at pictures from trips I've been on, and it's like a picture of a really cool building or something, and I'm like, why do I need a picture of that? And I'll delete it. And then I'm like, wait, but that was a good memory.
And then you have to go undo it.
Yeah, it's almost, it gets a bit too excessive sometimes.
I get that. When I was on a trip a few years ago, I took so many photos because I was thinking, oh, I'll never come back here. But I've been back twice. So, do I need to go back and delete some of the things that I have 3 photos of? I don't know. No, I don't need to do that.
All right.
I don't need to do that. Some other activities that are really fall-centered could be Making s'mores.
Okay.
Don't tell me you don't like s'mores, Lucy.
I like s'mores.
Oh,
I
no.
I will eat a s'more.
But you won't love a s'more?
I won't love a s'more.
Can you give me some context? Is there a bad
So,
memory?
I'm really weird about food that gets on my hands. And
Okay.
s'mores are just so messy, and I'm
They are.
sorry. But when the sticky marshmallow gets on my fingers, I just want to freak out.
See, that's the best part because you feel like you're a little kid again. My perfect s'more.
Well, I personally have just never felt that way because even when I was a child, I wanted to be 80 years old.
Oh.
So it's not really a fun childish thing for me. It's like, ew, get this off of me.
I think that's an original experience. I don't ever recall as a young child wanting to be 80 years old. No, I'm really interested. Why did you want to be 80 years old?
So maybe not necessarily 80 years old, but just as kids say, a grown up.
Gotcha.
I just loved, as you know, I'm firstborn,
Yeah.
so I just loved that little sense of responsibility, independence. And
Okay.
I was born more of an old soul.
I was as well, but yeah, I don't remember wanting to be 80 years old. Another thing that is so fall-centered that, like the s'mores, which, alright, let me interrupt myself. I did not even say what the perfect s'more, in my opinion, is.
Okay.
And please don't judge me because I know it's a little bit weird, but it's just what my taste buds appreciate. So, I like to make s'mores in a fire. I know some people are microwave people. No. Please can I have a fire to make my s'mores in? Because you know what? I want to char my marshmallow. I want to char my marshmallow, and then I want to eat the char.
Okay. Respect.
Not individually. The char has to be on the outside. But it can't be so charred to the point where the center is charred as well. It has to be slightly charred to the point where the middle is ooey and gooey and melts in your mouth and melts that Hershey's chocolate.
Respect to that. I would say that is a bit of a high maintenance s'more thing.
Okay.
But I think that's actually how most people prefer their s'mores.
Actually, a lot of people I know who, I guess I make s'mores with a lot of people, or have in the past. Don't know why I know this, but a lot of people kind of look at me awkwardly when I char my s'more. They're like, are you going to stop? Are you going to take your s'more, your marshmallow out of the fire now? And I'm like, no.
I think that's how my dad likes it too.
Really?
Maybe that's why I think it's so normal.
Yeah, maybe so. You've probably seen it before. But I will say with the whole charring your marshmallow situation, it's extremely easy for the marshmallow to fall off of the stick, which I'll say...
See, that's another thing. I can't do it. My patience cannot handle the marshmallows.
Okay. Yeah, I've had plenty of marshmallows fall off and then my dogs steal it, which I'm not going to eat it off the ground anyway, but yeah. My dogs are definitely around when I'm making s'mores. I was going to say something else about s'mores because they're just so important. But yeah, I think it's more of a fall thing in my eyes. And I think that we've all just kind of stopped making s'mores. Can we start making them again, please?
Okay.
Because now it's sort of like a professional thing in the sense that when I was a little kid, they didn't make all these fancy little rods you can buy and s'more kits. No. We had to straighten hangers, I'm serious, we straightened hangers and we put the marshmallow on the end and that's how we held it to the fire.
That is probably the most southern way I've ever heard of somebody making s'mores.
Probably so. So, yeah, if you're wondering, I am from the South. I was born and raised in Mississippi, so
Well, respect to your love for s'mores.
thank you. It's a deep love that I have. So, another thing that is really fall-centered, which I interrupted myself earlier because I started talking about my love for s'mores, is, and I know this seems childish, but maybe consider grabbing a few friends, going with your family. If you have young kids in your family, maybe you could go with them. Going to the pumpkin patch.
Okay.
Is there one around here?
I'm sure there is.
I'm sure there is.
If you look for it.
And if not, I mean, maybe you can go the hour to Tennessee or something. Yeah. But being around the pumpkins and maybe grabbing a pumpkin for yourself and painting or carving it.
Yeah, I personally love to paint a pumpkin.
So you're a painter over a carver?
Yeah, I kind of have a little bit of an artistic side, and I really like to just express that on a pumpkin.
Yeah, see, I know that painting a pumpkin excuse me, what did I just say? I don't even remember what I just said. Painting and carving pumpkins is meant to be time consuming. It's meant to be an activity, and I think that my brain has just never really processed that. Therefore, I get so irritated after maybe 30 minutes of trying to paint or carve a pumpkin that it then becomes my dad's job. And he makes the pumpkins, he usually carves the pumpkins when he does something with the pumpkins. He makes the pumpkins look professionally done. I remember one year, I was obsessed with Frozen, as I'm sure we all were when we were in elementary school. Yeah. And I remember I declared I wanted to make an Olaf pumpkin. I wanted to carve an Olaf pumpkin. And an Olaf pumpkin was carved. But guess who did it?
Your dad.
My dad, yeah. He made it look great, too. There's a picture on my mom's Instagram somewhere. Anyway, going to the pumpkin patch can be a fun fall-filled activity to just get you in the spirit, because I think maybe some people are struggling to get in the spirit of fall because I do understand, because letting go of that last shred of summer can be difficult.
Because summer lasts so long here.
Yeah, it does. And I feel like, especially for us as we're in college and anyone who's in school, summer represents freedom. Freedom from school, freedom from working and all that. So I think letting go of that is sort of admitting to yourself, okay, yeah, we're in the thick of it. We're entering the holiday seasons. I need to put my game face on. But luckily, you can put your game face on with all the recommendations that we've previously mentioned.
Okay, this is going to be a little bit random, but something I'm so excited for as it gets a little bit colder and as the trees turn colors. I'm so excited to sit in the grove and do my homework while I wait to go to class.
That's a wonderful, wonderful way of looking at it. We definitely do need to utilize all the beautiful scenery around because, you know, like we were talking about earlier, it gets so hot during the days. And I know even coming back from my class that ends at 11:50, even today, I was just like, I can't do it. I would love to sit outside and do some textbook reading, but I cannot make myself. So that's definitely a wonderful idea to put in there.
You know, when I was a kid, I've been an Ole Miss fan my whole life. And when I was way younger, I would hear people talking about how beautiful the campus is, you know, and I'm expecting like pink clouds and unicorns. So we would come up to Oxford, and I'm thinking, well, gosh, what's so pretty about this place? It's just trees and bricks everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
And now I see it because I'm walking to class and I'm like, oh my gosh, that tree is so pretty. Oh my gosh, that fountain is so beautiful.
Honestly, I think if we were to assign Ole Miss a season, it would have to be fall, right?
Yeah,
It would have to be the squirrels, the
definitely.
leaves, all the trees, given they might be dead in the fall. But I don't know. I just moved here, guys, so don't come after me.
Actually, the squirrels here are extremely friendly.
Really?
Yeah. Every time I've been in close proximity to a squirrel, they don't run off. They just sit there and mind their business, eat their acorns.
What I'm hearing is we need to adopt one.
I like the sound of that.
Or maybe we should just take the responsible approach and name one.
Okay.
Anyway, one of the one of the final things I wanted to mention is, you know what? This is a classic. Having a movie night. Having a movie night.
I love that.
Grabbing a few friends,
Yeah.
maybe sitting down with your family if you're able, and watching a scary movie. I know not everyone can do a scary movie. I personally can. I can't tell you the last time that I was genuinely freaked out by a scary movie because I watched so many.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, I can tell you. When I was in middle school, my dad and I watched It for the first time. And I had nightmares for months.
Really?
I think there was a period where I kind of thought that there were red balloons everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
But I was like 12, so
That's like PTSD.
yeah, but it's okay.
See, clowns just don't really scare me.
I mean, they don't either, but that was around the period where there were all these rumors that clowns were,
Oh, yeah, the whole
yeah,
clown trend.
that was creepy.
Ugh.
That was when I watched it, so that was why I was so
Gotcha.
creeped out. But obviously, you don't have to watch scary movies. There are various rom-coms that I would argue are great fall
Yeah.
movies. Like, what's one rom-com that you have to watch in the fall?
I don't really know. I'm not a huge movie fanatic. I'll watch a little movie here and there,
Yeah.
but I'm not super educated on my movies.
I mean, I'm not either. I'm the type of person to rewatch the same movies over and
Same.
over and over. One movie that is a classic that I have to watch all the time because it reminds me of fall because I watched it for the first time in fall and memories are cool like that is Mean Girls.
Really?
I don't really have a specific reason. It's predictable, it's at times stupid, but I can recite that movie word for word and I don't know, I love it.
Yeah. Lately, and maybe this is a sign I need to watch it soon, but lately I've been thinking about Legally Blonde.
Nice,
Yeah.
yeah. And that could be a really good movie to motivate you to study.
Yeah, right. I've seen it
Yeah.
2 or 3 times, but sometimes I'll just go throughout my day and I'm like, would Elle Woods do this? Yeah, let me jump on this schoolwork.
That's a
real
wonderful
quick.
idea. And when I say Mean Girls, I mean the 2000s Mean Girls.
Gotcha.
In my opinion, that's the OG. That's the best
Yeah.
one in my opinion.
Any 2000s movie,
Yes.
just the
An
best.
immediate yes. We hope that this episode inspired you to romanticize fall, maybe in your own ways. Maybe there's something that we didn't mention that you kind of want to
yeah.
implement into your lives. And if there is something that we missed, maybe we can bring it up in a future episode.
Yeah.
We do have an Instagram. It's at theroommate.pod. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. The word roommate does have 2 O's and 2 M's. I know it's a weird spelled word. Not too weird, but it is difficult. Words are sometimes difficult. We now have a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
Not sure when I can get this episode uploaded onto YouTube, but if you want to listen again, you forgot what we said, it'll be on YouTube. The YouTube is The Roommate Podcast, but the T, the R, and the P are capitalized and there are no spaces. Just go follow us on Instagram maybe if you want to keep up with us, because that was confusing. I apologize.
Also, if you have any suggestions for things you want us to talk about,
Yeah.
topics,
Please let us know
yeah, definitely
somehow.
DM us or leave us a comment on the Instagram or on the YouTube.
Yes.
And we'll definitely incorporate it into our episode.
Absolutely.
And even maybe give you a little shout out. So if you have ideas, we definitely want to hear them.
There is a certain shout out that we cannot end this episode without giving, and that is to my good friend Jordan, who does not go to this school but listens nonetheless. Jordan, we loved your Instagram reel that you made the other day. I can't tell you how many times I've watched it. Thank you for listening.
We love you, Jordan.
We love you, Jordan. Thank you all for listening to today's episode. I do hope that it inspired somebody to romanticize fall and maybe eliminate that gloomy, doomy mood that often overcomes us when we approach fall.
Right.
As we've said, follow us on our Instagram. Let us know if you have any recommendations, and we will talk to you next Wednesday. Oh, we did not say the same thing. 1, 2, 3, next Wednesday.
I'm sorry.
Okay, last time. 1, 2, 3, next Wednesday at 3 p.m. on Rebel Radio. Thank you, everyone.